Welcome back. President Biden is set to sign the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill tomorrow. It's already been called the most progressive plan, the largest bill ever. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi touting it as historic.
This is the most consequential legislation that many of us will ever be a party to. Who knows what the future may bring, but nonetheless, on this day, we celebrate.
The Wall Street Journal editorial board out with a new op-ed on the spending here, the progressive Democratic steamroller, saying it's just the beginning. It is just the beginning of a massive amount of spending. Joining me right now is former Clinton senior advisor, NBC Partner CEO, and Stagwell Group president, managing partner, Mark Penn. Mark, it's good to have you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. Your reaction to this big spending bill that will get into law this week?
Well, we've come a long way from in the Clinton era when we were trying to balance the budget. In fact, any concept of that obviously has been thrown way out the window. I think the question is, 2 years from now, will this be considered the stimulus that saved the economy, or will it be considered pork? Remember, right now, this is an average cost per person of about $6,000. But the most any person gets from this is $1,400. So the rest of it is going to something else. Is it going to businesses that are hurt by COVID, or is it going to special interest programs? Nobody really knows what's in this bill or how it's going to be spent other than the $1,400. Time will tell. Last time with Obama, it started out with a big spending bill. It didn't end up very well 2 years later.
Yeah, I mean, the Journal this morning in this op-ed writes, the party is united behind it. The party is united behind the most left-wing agenda in decades. While Republicans are divided in intellectual disarray, this is only the beginning of the progressive steamroller, and it's worth understanding why. That's the thing. They are behind this most left-wing agenda in decades. So speak to that, where the party is in terms of the progressives versus the moderates, because it seems like many decisions out of the Biden administration are catering to the extreme left and the real progressives.
Well, I think if you're a member of the Democratic Party, you're thinking, look, this is the first major initiative from the administration. You don't want to stop its momentum and oppose it. The question is, when you come to another several trillion-dollar bill, will moderates stand up here or not? I think in this bill, the moderates really didn't stand up, even though there's a caucus of moderates, there's a problem-solving caucus, there's a pretty good group of them in the House, but they went along with this bill. I don't know that means they're going to go along with every bill. The real test will come with the next $2 trillion bill, whether or not they will put the brakes on the spending or go along all the way. I don't think the public in the end will go for $6 trillion.
Well, the problem is, Joseph Pinion jumping in here, one issue that the Journal points out is that the party has gone so far to the left. They write, one lesson from the COVID non-fight is that there are no Democrat moderates in Congress. The party base has moved so sharply to the left that even swing state members are more liberal than many liberals in the Clinton years. Democrats lost not a single vote in the Senate and only one in the House. The fear of primary challenges from the left, which took out House war horses in 2018 and 2020, has concentrated incumbent minds. That is the threat that even moderates are worried about, that the progressive are going to primary competitors and knock them out of office.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really a shocking and fascinating development. I'd love to get, Mark's opinion, because at the end of the day, it feels as if you could find a young, charismatic Bill Clinton today, he couldn't get elected as a Democrat. He'd probably end up having to be a Republican. So this seems to be the notion, the ever-evolving nature of our politics. And particularly when you look at spending $1.9 trillion, so much of that money, to Mark's point, being backloaded with things that have absolutely, positively nothing to do with COVID. To me, the question becomes, and maybe, Mark, you have some insight, how do we get to a point where the average American citizen can understand that you can't stimulate the you can't stimulate the economy today if all the money is coming to for factors tomorrow.
Well, look, objectively, there's going to be a reality. This economy is either going to go into inflation, higher interest rates, stock market crash, or it's going to go into the opposite. It's going to take off. Unemployment's going to go back to 3%. Or, so there will be an objective reality. I think, though, the real question is, I believe there are moderates. In fact, as you well know, in the midterms, it's the moderates who are going to pay the price for what Congress does and either win or lose an election here. And as you know, as history tends to repeat itself in the midterms of Clinton and Obama, all the moderates got wiped out. I think they're there. I think they didn't oppose it because it's the first measure. And I hope they stand up on the second or third one and make a compromise. I would much rather have seen a bipartisan bill around $1 trillion here and then see what happens to the economy. But that didn't happen.